What's going on, everyone? Talen here, and welcome to another account progression video. Alright, so as you can see from the screen here, it is finally time for me to get another tier 3 character, and it's going to be Captain Marvel. So I've kind of put this off for quite a bit. I've been procrastinating on my tier 3 roster because I do only have 6 tier 3s right now, so I'm falling a little bit behind. You could probably see that here by my materials. I do have quite a few of them built up because I've never bought any packs that have any tier 3 materials, so this is just all from farming. So that's what we're going to be doing today, is getting Captain Marvel to tier 3, because I've really been enjoying playing with her lately, since I did give her my one and only CTP of Rage. So yes, I was able to get that from the CTP selector because I still had mine saved, and I used it on the CTP of Rage, and I finally gave it to her. Now it's been a couple weeks since I gave it to her, or maybe even a full month. I just haven't gotten around to tier 3ing her, and her damage is insane with the CTP of Rage, so that's why I finally decided, you know what, let's make her tier 3, maybe that'll help out her survivability, and she'll get even more damage. And why not, because she is still the normal price of a tier 3 character, or the base price, and not one of these more expensive ones like Thanos, Jean Grey, are like the top of the line now. And then we have Deadpool and Reed Richards, which are even slightly more expensive than her, but less expensive than Thanos. But anyway, that's why I decided I'm going to get her to tier 3 today, and I will still have enough left over for Jean, because Jean is going to be my next tier 3, or my next planned tier 3 at least. So let's go ahead and take a look at the rest of my build here on Captain Marvel before we tier 3 her. So as you can see, we do have the CTP of Rage. I was able to get it to a 60% and 0.9, so that is the max stats right there for that. And oh my god, did it take forever to roll the CTP of Rage. I got 0.6 or whatever it is, or 0.5, whatever the lowest roll is for the increase damage per dodge or crit rate is. I got that like 30 times in a row before I got a nice roll here, so that was pretty annoying. And then we have Power the Angry Hulk as my Ice Weight set. We do have it fully awakened. For the skills, I did level up all of the skills. Her uniform is sitting at legendary right now. I haven't gotten it to mythic just because I don't have the uniform option for the mythic, so that's kind of why I've just been putting that off. And also, of course, to save the uniform kits, or whatever they're called, the uniform rank up kits. Yeah, so what else do we want to look at here? Let's go ahead and show the details. We do have our attack speed max, we have our ignore defense max, we have our skill cooldown pretty close to max, we're only about 1% off on that. And then our crit rate is basically maxed as well, we're only 0.2 off on that one. And our crit damage is actually pretty good, so I have invested some work into Captain Marvel here, just because I was planning on getting her tier 3 for a while now, so that's kind of why I've invested some in her. And for her Uru, we have all 5-star Uru on her. And yeah, so that's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and get this girl here to tier 3. So we have Binary Break. That tier 3 is going to be Fear, Silence, Fracture, Stun, and then Ignore Defense for 5 seconds. We have 80% chance to penetrate. It's basically everything, isn't it? Yeah. All damage, mute, invincibility, super armor, barrier. Yeah, so it pierces everything. And then we have Ignore Target's Dodge by 100%, so you can't dodge it. So yeah. Let's go ahead and advance her. Tier 3, number 7, here we go. Alright, nice little cutscene right there. We're flying through space. Alright, our agent level has gone up. Oh yeah, and I'm curious to see how much that affects my rank on her, because I had CTP, I had everything pretty much maxed out on her, just except for Mythic Uru, and we're still ranked 45,000 with Captain Marvel. So either a lot of people have built her a lot better than I have, or getting her to tier 3 is going to boost up that ranking by quite a bit. So let's find out what that does. Major Danvers. Alright, so let's see. Oh yeah, it went up by a lot. Now we're top 10,000. So rank 8600. So went from 40, it was either 45 or 4600 on our ranking. So yeah, that skyrocketed. So getting her just to tier 3 did affect the growth score by quite a bit. But anyway, now we have her freshly tier 3'd. All that's left to do is to try her out a little bit. Can't wait to see what her damage looks like now. So let's go ahead and hop over to some world boss here. I'm just going to do against Cole here. Going to do stage 41 because there is no Blade Twister there, which would be what we want to avoid. So let's see, what team do we want to use here? So we'll use her with, maybe we'll just use Ebony for leadership, and then we will use Shuri for that kind of decreased damage taken, hopefully help her survive a little bit, and then we'll just put in our regular, whoops, well, I messed that up already. I was going to say let's put in our regular strikers, but I do want anti-venom because I need that healing. Well, let's see if I can survive without anti-venom here. I mean, the tier 3 isn't really going to help her survivability out too much, I wouldn't think. I mean, it helps out her health pool and maybe her defense, but she already dies quite quickly just from the dot effects on this stage. Maybe I should just put Wasp in here as well. Alright, so here we go. Ooh, alright. Yeah, that damage is looking pretty nice. She just hit so hard with the CTP of Rage, but we're about to die because of the dot effects. Let's pop that tier 3. It's kill or be killed here. We've got to like burst him down before we die. Because one more poison drop or bleed and we are done for. Alright, yep, just keep mind controlling them. And, oh, there's poison on the ground. Get into the iframe. And we got hit by the poison. But look at that. 1 minute we kind of bursted them down. Let's go ahead and grab, let's see. We're going to switch out Ebony for Wasp and switch that over. So we're going to lose a little bit of damage there. But she should be able to survive a lot better now. We just kind of went like short-term nuke right there and like do as much damage as we can before we die. So now, hopefully we'll be able to survive the entire time. Our damage is going to be a little bit lower, but hopefully we'll still do okay. So, alright, here we go. And no proc on my CTP of Rage there. Oh, there we go, finally. God, look at that. Once that CTP of Rage procs, just crazy amounts of damage. She still does respectable damage with a damage proc. It's just night and day how much the CTP of Rage really affects Captain Marvel here. He's just getting melted. Yeah, and with the CTP of Rage on her, it also seems like it doesn't make a big difference to have defense down strikers, because it seems like you kind of get capped out, like it kind of strips away all of the boss's defense, so you're not seeing kind of the benefits that you would normally see from defense down. Well, I mean, you're seeing the benefit, of course, from the CTP of Rage proc, but what I mean is it's not stacking like you might expect with like Deadpool kind of thing. Like you stack all of his defense down, all of a sudden you start melting bars super quickly. But with her, you have your CTP of Rage proc, and then if you have your strikers come in and say like all of them do all defense down, you're not going to see that same kind of spike that you would with Deadpool. So you can kind of keep that in mind, that you don't necessarily need to have all defense down strikers with her, opposed to some other characters that benefit a lot more from it. Oh, well, he's in his shield mode here, so let's go ahead and try to dodge this. There we go. Alright, now let's go back to the pummeling here. And very good. And I think just for comparison, I should say that this is one of the higher stages that I've been able to reach on call with my current kind of roster and build. So she's definitely like my top 1 or 2 hitters right now, because I don't have many characters that can do this. Pretty much it's just her and like my Sharon Rogers can do this stage, and that's pretty much it right now for me. Oh, actually Gambit can get through this as well. Cable if I play perfectly, but he seems to even be lacking as well. So this is quite impressive because she's going to have like 2 minutes left. Let's go ahead and whack him down again here. See, even without the CTP of Rage proc, she still does pretty absurd damage. And that's one of the main reasons why I wanted to tier 3 her. It's just really fun to just do this kind of damage. That's kind of what you you know, want out of your character when you invest in them. To just see this kind of crazy damage output just feels so satisfying that you actually built the character. It makes it more fun to play with and that kind of thing, so you don't feel like you wasted any of your resources and stuff like that. So boom, there we go. Yeah, we've had 2 minutes left on that one, so yeah, that was really nice. So definitely enjoying my tier 3 Captain Marvel here. It looks like I'm probably going to have Wasp as a staple on my team when I use her, at least if there's going to be a lot of stage effects. If there's only that, what is it, Purifying Wind, the one where those kind of spear things go by and stun you. If it's only that one, I'm fine. But if there's even the Acid Pits or the Blade Twisters, she's pretty much out of luck, because those dot damages are just so detrimental to her, and because she doesn't have any damage immunity, she can't really avoid them, because all of her attacks, she's like right on top of the boss. So right when you come out of your skill animation, you get hit by that dot, and you take a lot of damage. So anyway, yeah, Captain Marvel, really nice. Definitely happy to have her as my 7th tier 3 character. Well worth the tier 3 in my opinion. Even if she is a little fragile, that damage is just so nice and so satisfying to play with, that I think she's definitely worth getting to tier 3. And she's a farmable character, so she's super easy to get to, or to rank up and all of that. And also pretty much you do need her uniform, so that's something you need to keep in mind. So you do have to calculate that into her if you're going to be getting her to tier 3, because without the uniform, she's not worth getting to tier 3, but with the uniform, definitely. So that's going to be it for this video here. I hope you guys enjoyed, and of course I will catch you in the next one.